victory of that first gold medal for France at these Olympics. There was a pause at the start there because while everybody's waiting for the medal ceremony, I heard the music start up and I wondered for a second if it was the Marseillaise and they were going to get underway. But why are they playing Edith Piaf? Why are they doing that, Jules?
So the one before Johnny Hallyday is a bit of a song of the games, because the songs, and we mentioned Johnny, who's Muncie's favorite singer ever, it seems, yesterday during the opening ceremony, didn't we? And the song is Allumer le feu, as in light the fire, which is when you win a gold, is so fitting, really. And then Piaf, I guess, because she's obviously Paris born and bred, as we also established yesterday, and she's at the heart of these Olympics. So I think in every stadium they will have those that they use as karaoke, because we can read the words, the lyrics of the songs are on the two big screens here at the Stade de France. So for the people who don't know the song, for example, you can always read on the screen and sing with everybody else.
So there's an opportunity for everybody to join in, but we will, before the end of these games, Julien, get you singing along on the radio.
Not sure you want to hear
whether
that.
it's Edith Piaf or Johnny Hallyday, it's your choice. We'll let you have that much in terms of the decision making. But no, we'll try and get back to you for the anthems, depending on where we are in terms of what's happening here in the pool. And we're also going to check in on what's happening at the tennis. Maz Farouki's at Roland Garros.
And it was a vamos from Nadal and a huge grin on the face of Alcaraz at the end of the first set. The Spanish pair taking the first set tie-break 7-4 against the Argentina pairing of Maximo Gonzalez and Andres Montini, who, remember, are the more experienced pair in this format. They've played together a couple of years. It's the very first time that Alcaraz and Nadal have played a match together, and the Argentina pair have broken the Spain team's serve at the start of the second set, so they lead 2-love. For Alcaraz and Nadal with a set on the board.
Maz, thank you very much. We'll keep you across everything that's happening at the Olympics this evening, but our focus is here at the La Défense Arena for the start of the gold medals in the swimming. Huge races coming up this evening. You'll be able to see Adam Peaty back in action. There's also a brilliant race in the women's 400 metres freestyle. Katie Ledecky, Aaron Titmus, Summer McIntosh, all in action in that one. And we've just put the lights on inside the stadium here because we have been in darkness as the DJ has been pumping out the music. There have been the most beautiful illustrations on the big screens that are around here, and we're inside what is normally Racing 92's indoor rugby arena. What they've done is they've divided it right down the middle across where the halfway line would be. This whole side is for the media, and the other three sides are taken by the sort of bowl effect of where the supporters will be. It was empty when we first came in. The swimmers were just going through their final warm-ups. They're now out of the pool. The pool is absolutely clear, apart from one frogman who is down there just sorting out the cameras so they can bring you the best of the coverage. The fans are being led in a thunderclap as we start to build up to the first race, which gets underway in 7 minutes. Steve Parry and Karen Pickering are here. Guys, I don't know if you heard earlier, but Sarah Orchard and Tom Vardell were saying, when this is a rugby stadium, because it's indoors, it's played on an artificial pitch, obviously, because they can't grow the grass indoors. But what that means is that when it ends, when the match ends, they put a bar on at the end of the rugby matches. So I'm thinking, pool bar, maybe at the end of this week a swim-up bar, and we can all have a little party to celebrate the end of swimming at the Olympics.
That sounds absolutely perfect. I'm in.
I love your thinking.
So we'll
You
get on
shouldn't
to the
talk to
organisers.
Karen about this. She once got locked in an arena from staying there drinking too late, didn't you, Karen?
I was not alone though, was I, Steve?
Very good nights out of the
As
swimming
long
pool.
as you're not drinking alone, it's always good. It's always good. But look, we're set up for what could be an absolutely fantastic evening. Let's focus on what's going to be happening in the pool. There's a semi-final 100 metres breaststroke, and of course that's going to be all about Adam Peaty.
Yeah, and it's I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm actually nervous around how Adam's going to do. Adam has carried this team, the British team, for the last 10 years. And he's always been the talisman. He's always set the stall out at the Olympic Games, delivering the gold medal, giving everyone else confidence. we need a really strong swim from Adam Peaty, but we're all so involved in his story, all the trials and tribulations that he's had over the years. And you know what? The competition are coming for him. I don't think they're as scared of him as they used to be. He's not dominating like he used to, and I think they smell blood. I think that they see that he is vulnerable. It's going to be fascinating to see how he goes in this semi-final in half an hour's time.
And when he had his break, swimming moved on. His event moved on without him.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed going to the World Championships last year and watching Chineseman Chin Haiyang swimming. He won the 50, he won the 100, he won the 200, and he broke the world record in the 200 as well. Then he gets out of the pool on the 100 and he says, it was great winning a gold medal, but I won Adam Peaty at the Olympic Games and I won his world record. I like that bit of needle. We've not seen that a lot of times before in swimming.
Of course, Adam said that that's really one of the reasons that spurred him to get back in the pool, that he hated seeing that. He wanted to be back in, he wanted to be racing. I know, everything he's done, he should be going into this feeling the pressure as the favourite, but actually given the last few months that he's had, or year and a bit that he's had, with everything that he's gone through physically and mentally, he's actually almost an underdog in many ways, and he's put himself in a great position. I think he's been on superb form, set the fastest time in the world this year earlier at the trials, so I think he's put himself in a fantastic position.
He's in a fantastic position, and we'll be talking more about him as we get closer to the start time in his race. There's a really exciting race in the women's 400 metres freestyle, which has been billed as this kind of three-way battle between Katie Ledecky, between Ariana Titmus, and between Summer McIntosh. But we're missing a big name when we do that, aren't we? Or a big challenger.
Yeah, I think New Zealand's Erica Fairweather is obviously going to be in the mix. She's just 20 years old from New Zealand, and she's been in and around the medals and
so they're not going to have it all their own way either. But just to mention for this, the first event as well, the 400 freestyle, the first medal event that we're going to see, the world record could be threatened there. I've seen Ian Thorpe walking around earlier today.
He's not in that.
No, well, he is definitely not in it. I think he's still eating like an athlete. I'm not sure how much training he's doing like one anymore. That might be slightly unfair. He probably says the same thing about me. But the threat is there of his world record. Martins, he went close to German swimmer Lucas Martins. He went close earlier in the year, missed it by 0.3 of a second.
That's something that could be on the cards this evening. And Karen, it's just a real opportunity, not just for world records to be broken, but for Team GB to add to their medals tally.
Yeah, and I almost think we need to, perhaps based on the heats this morning, not be looking at times as much. It is the racing, and the swimmers know it. Quite often in an Olympic Games, and even in a World Championships, the best times are done in a semi-final where there's not quite the pressure, and then it's about racing and delivering under pressure in the race situation when it comes to the final. So times, they won't care about times at the end of the day. They'll just want to be racing and getting on the podium, and I think the men's 4x100 freestyle, we have a brilliant opportunity to do that. These are guys that have a habit of getting on the podium on relays. We've seen it on the 4x200. 12 months ago they didn't make it through the heats, being disqualified for a 40 takeover. At least they've done that job done. They're through to the final, and I think these are 4 guys who know how to race, they know how to swim relays, They swim over and above in relays, and I think they'll be really exciting to watch.
First race of this evening's session, the women's 100 metres butterfly semi-final coming up very shortly. There is British interest, but is there a strong British opportunity there?
Yeah, I mean, it's great that Kiana McInnes, she made it through to the semi-final. She's gone better than she did last year at the World Championships. She just missed out. But you know, she's a 22-year-old swimmer. She goes in the 100 and the 200 metres butterfly, and she's very much learning her trade at the moment. You know, this is her first Olympic Games, and she'll be made up with that. But she's got to move it on from here. She's going in an outside lane. She will desperately want to be able to make the final, but I think it might be too tall a order for her.
Is this another event in which we might be looking at quite a fast, possibly world record challenging time, given how well Gretchen Walsh was? I mean, maybe not in the semi-finals, but I mean when we get to the final.
There was a right old ding-dong, wasn't there, Karen, at the American trials? Tori Husk and Gretchen Walsh, they went head-to-head, and the world record was on all the way through that race. But Gretchen Walsh, the Virginia-based swimmer out of America, she ended up taking that world record, and of course she'd have to be the favourite. But Tori Husk, she's absolutely class as well, and they're coming out now.
And Alistair Bruce Ball is going to be your commentator this evening.
Biggest roar of the night so far. So the first heat, the first event this evening, is the first semi-final of the women's 100-metre butterfly. Just betraying a slight sign of nerves. We were just talking about Kiana McInnes. She was introduced first, so the swimmers are appearing down to our left. We're in this giant media stand along one side of the pool. So we watch them walk onto the bright blue pool deck with Paris 2024 written in bold white letters across the floor. Kiana McInnes arrived with the jogging top on and the little backpack on her back and sat down, Steve, in lane 7. She's meant to be swimming in lane 8. The Swedish swimmer Louise Hansen came out and very politely tapped her on the shoulder and said, "You're going to have to go one to the right." But what I did notice was Kiana McInnes had already had a little adjustment of the blocks in lane 7, so Louise Hansen's going to have to sort that out, unless it was all tactics, of course.
Maybe it was skullduggery. Maybe she was doing it on purpose. But I mean, I think that just goes to show how the nerves can get to you. So before they come out onto the field of play here at the pool, they go into a room 15 minutes before, and it's a bizarre situation. You've got rows of 8 seats, and you have to sit in your seat against your competitors that all you want to do is smash in the pool 15 minutes later, and it's a really not eerie place to be, it's a really tense place to be, and that's where you've got to keep things together.
Kiana McInnes now ready to go in the black swimsuit, the bright red swimming cap of Great Britain, eyes hidden behind the goggles. One of the things as well, Karen, I've noticed a lot of the swimmers do. This is my first time in an Olympic pool this evening. I just saw her lean down, splashing herself with loads of water just before she steps onto the blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. The different swimmers have different routines. I always used to splash myself down to get the air bubbles out of the suit, stick the suit down to me, and that was just part of the routine, and you'll see the swimmers will do the same every time they race.
Right, we're just about ready to go. Really exciting night of Olympic swimming ahead. First night of finals on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and first race up, semi-final, first of 2 in the women's 100-metre butterfly, all about the 8 fastest times across the 2 heats. You need to be in that top 8 to get to the final. The whistle is blown and the swimmers step onto their blocks. Looking at it particular here for the world record holder, the American in lane 5, Gretchen Walsh. The quickest in qualifying was the Japanese swimmer Mitsuki Hiraihi. The world champion of Germany, Angelina Köhler, in lane 3. They are underway into the water. Eyes on Kiana McInnes, closest to us in lane 8, but already out in lane 5, Karen. Gretchen Walsh, the 21-year-old, very much setting the pace.
Yeah, she is. She has beautiful underwater work. She is so powerful off the starts and turns, using that dolphin kick, and almost has a double jointed style to her arms. They really do overextend at the elbows, and once again off the turn there, she's leading half a body length clear.
Yeah, Gretchen Walsh in front, first semi-final. Powerfully stroking her way towards the finish. 25 metres to go. I don't think anyone is catching Gretchen Walsh here at the moment. I can see Rikako Aiki of Japan going well in lane 1 on the far side of the pool, but it is Walsh power powering in towards the finish line here, just behind the world record time as well. Touches now, and Walsh takes it with the world champion Angelina Kerler in second, and Kiana McInnes in the end finishing in 8th. And Karen, that was an Olympic record she set.
Yeah, that was a superb swim. I mean, she has been in utterly tremendous form all year for her college. Gretchen Walsh over the sprints, and obviously setting the world record last month on the 100 butterfly. She was never touched.
Well, that was amazing. It's almost like being at Merchant Taylor's Baths, isn't it, Kelly? You know, back in the day when you used to do it, it's exactly the same stuff.
Yeah, swimming exactly those same times as well.
Do you know what was so impressive there was the dive and the walls. You know, Gretchen Walsh, she swims out at the University of Virginia, and she's been so impressive on the NC2A circuit, the student circuit. You can only swim 7 events, 3 individuals and 4 relays at the NC2As. She won all 7 this year, and actually she's won 18 out of the 21 she can win. She's an absolute master when it comes to underwater work. You could see her tying up there a little bit at the end, and that's the reason that she missed the world record by almost 1500ths of a second at the end. But I fancy her to do it tomorrow night. She just dominated it. It's very rare, Ali, that you see someone at an Olympic Games in a semi-final winning by a body length.
So Gretchen Walsh and the rest of the swimmers make their way out of the pool. Real ovation. I can see a Stars and Stripes flag away to the right-hand side. American fans with the little flags as well, as the swimmers march back towards onto the pool deck. Kiana McInnes there, Kelly, 8th in the heat, 8th out of 8 in a time of 58.11. So very unlikely that she is going to make it through to the final. It is the 8 fastest swimmers across the 2 heats that make it through to the final.
Second semi-final to come. Meanwhile, we're going to check in on the tennis at Roland Garros with Matt Faruqi.
Well, Alcaraz and Nadal have broken back in the second set, so we're back on serve. You can see that positionally, the Argentina pair of Maximo Gonzalez and Andres Montino are the more experienced, the more savvy sometimes to win certain points, especially at the net. But the power of the Nadal backhand, the Alcaraz forehand, is keeping them right in this second set. So it is 3 games all with the Spanish pair having taken the first set on a tiebreak.
Thank you very much for that, Maz. In the boxing, Britain's Charlie Davison's Olympics are over, Steve Bunsen. She put so much into this to getting back to her top form, and it only lasted a few minutes.
Listen, it was 9 minutes of Charlie Davison fighting for her very boxing career. She lost the first, she won the second clearly, and you know what, the third was tied. In the end, it was 3 of the judges voting for Akbas from Turkey, the 23-year-old current world champion, and just 2 of them voting for Charlie Davison. She's heartbroken, and you know what? That's just how serious this draw is. I've been telling people for 2 days, I'm not kidding, this is the hardest draw I've ever known for British boxers.
Bunty, thank you very much for now. Earlier in the Stade de France, France beat Fiji in the rugby sevens. They are the gold medalists, and for the first time in this Olympics, we're about to hear the Marseillaise sung for the Olympic champions. Tom Van Dell and Sarah Orchard are there.
Thank you, Kelly. And yes, I can tell you no one has left the Stade de France stadium. Everyone wants to stay and watch France get these gold medals. I can see at the moment it's one IOC member, Mr. Octavio Moraru, who's working his way down the line now, giving out the medals. I mean, Tom Van Dell, we know there's a big cheer coming. We know it's coming for one man, but just a moment to reflect. First on Fiji, who finished silver. You finished in a silver in a Commonwealth Games. It's a tough place to finish.
It is tough, because obviously you lose your last game and you put all your effort, all your energy into that final for the match, and then to come up short, it is tough. So I know how Fiji feel, and they feel pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
But for the French, what a feeling.
Yeah, of course, in Fiji, they've won the last 2 gold medals in the Olympic sevens, but this is all about France now. We can see Joseph on our screen at the moment. He was scoring tries in the Olympic final. He's surrounded by his teammates at the moment as now it works its way down the French line. I can see it now coming in terms of Grandidier and Conan. He's been hugely significant as well. He was actually London born, he has a French mother, that's why he's qualified. But here we go. The next medal to be given out, expect the roof to be raised. Antoine Dupont gets his gold medal, denied at his home World Cup in the 15s. Last year, he said he had unfinished business. Well, he's gone about it in an incredible way.
Yeah, he has. He's been outstanding in that final match. amazing tournament. Obviously, to have something like that, a bit of meaning behind the medal as well, just makes it a little bit more special. But again, look, sevens hasn't been on the centre stage for a while, for a few years. You know, that sort of magic has been taken away. But I'll tell you what, after this tournament, it's just incredible. The skill that's been put on show, and the players that have obviously taken part in it. It's just, you know, sevens is a special game, and this is what it's all about, the Olympic final.
And it's really going to be interesting how many 15s players will do a DuPont. That's what it will be called after this. Be a star on this top stage, because that is what the Olympics is for seven. The world has been watching. Millions across the globe have witnessed this incredible match that went on between France and Fiji. 500,000 people will have watched the sevens by the time the women's tournament is over. That starts, of course, tomorrow. But now this is France's moment, their first gold medal of this Games, and the first time that we will hear La Marseillaise sung out, the French flag raised, because they are top of the podium. An incredible moment for a host nation, and it's the rugby sevens players that have done the job for them.
La Marseillaise for the gold medalist France in the rugby sevens. Julien Laurent inside the Stade de France. Must feel nice to be French at the moment, Jules.
The Marseillaise has never sounded so good, Kelly. Incredible. I thought I was going to cry.
I'll be honest, that's kind of what we were hoping for. But look, it has just been an incredible experience, and as Sarah was explaining earlier, nobody's left the stadium. Everybody wanted to be there for that moment, and it's a special one in terms of these games, because now the gold medal is won. It is done.
Yeah, absolutely, and we said it earlier with Chappers on the show this afternoon already, when Team GB got their first medal. This is it. This is almost some pressure off all the athletes' shoulders, because it's there. We've got one of each today for the French, and this is a great first day, amazing first day. The ceremony last night kicked things off so nicely, and then to follow it up today with those kind of performances is great. And tomorrow you mentioned Léon Marchand, and so hopefully today is working as the perfect start for the whole French delegation, and then the medals keep coming. But also we expected this team to do well, obviously, even if they didn't start well. We wanted DuPont to do well, and for them to go all the way like this and get the first gold is just very special. And like you said, everybody's still there. The Marseillaise was so emotional. They've got lights at the top of the Stade de France all around, which are blue, white and red, obviously, and you just feel the festive atmosphere, and hopefully that carries on to everywhere else with all the other events.
Where are you up to next, Jules?
I'm coming home now. I didn't sleep last night too well after the opening ceremony. I don't think I will sleep well tonight.
I don't mean right this second. I mean, which Olympic event are you off to next?
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm not your mother. It's okay.
There's the swimming tomorrow with you. I've got a show in the afternoon with Chappers, and then I come to you. Yeah.
Okay. See you there for Léon Marchand tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you very much to Julien Laurent. Enjoy your lovely evening as you've just described to us. Have a nice time off. Head back home. In the meantime, we're about to get the 400 metres freestyle final underway. The women's event is going to be huge later on this evening, but Alistair Bruce Ball, this time up it's the men's, and this could be a good one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The women's 400 metres freestyle final on the way. Next up after the men, that will be an absolute blockbuster. But the first medal up for grabs at Paris 2024. We've just seen the two semi-finals for the women's 100 metres butterfly. Steve, the Americans looking incredibly strong. The second heat, Tori Husk won that. Second fastest qualifier behind Gretchen Walsh. Disappointment for the French, Marie Wattel, 9th fastest, so doesn't make Kiana McInnes, we know, won't be in the final. What about this race we've got coming up here, though, in the men's 400-metre freestyle?
Well, this is going to be an absolute doozy, I think. We've got loads of talent over here. The world record has been threatened earlier in the year. This is definitely going to be the fastest 400 freestyle that we've ever seen on the world stage. Can't call where it's going to go.
Okay, Kim Woo-min of Korea over in lane 1 could be a danger man. The world champion Samuel Short of Australia in lane 2. Li Wei-fei of China in 3. Lucas Martins was on world record pace earlier on, quickest qualifier today in lane 4. Guilherme Costa, the Brazilian, in lane 5. Elijah Winnington of Australia in 6. Aaron Shackle of America in 7. A lot of support in this arena for them tonight. And Oliver Clement in lane 8. They have completed the first 50 metres, and Lucas Martins, Karen, as he was this morning, the German, going good guns out in front.
Yes, he is. A really long rangy stroke. He's breathing to his right, so he can see any danger at the top half of the pool as we're looking at it. And Elijah Winnington going well as well, the only man in this final who also swam in the final in Tokyo. But the Korean Kim Woo-min also going well in lane 1, the early 3 leaders.
Yeah, as soon as he walked out to the pool deck, Karen tapped me on the shoulder and said, keep an eye on lane 1, because quite often, well, you know, the fastest qualifiers, they sit in the middle of the pool, and your attention is always drawn towards them. But you can see Kim Woo-min over on the far side of the pool to us is right up with the pace here at the moment. Lucas Martins still going well, and Elijah Winnington. Now those two were in the same heat together, and both were on world record pace for about 3/4 of the race this morning.
Yeah, the pace of this race is very, very quick, and they're taking this race on. Also in the pool, you have the likes of Sam Short and Li Wei-fei of China. They are distant swimmers, so they would be strong in the closing stages. So the swimmers who are maybe better at the 200 freestyle, they want to take the pace up. They want to get a bit of distance ahead of the swimmers. They're going to be strong in the closing stages.
Ahead of the world record pace at the moment. Lucas Martins turns at the halfway stage. The German in lane 4. Smooth, precise freestyle stroke, chopping him through this pool that is glistening under the lights in the Paris La Défense Arena this evening, surrounded on 3 sides by spectators enjoying the action, watching from on high. Kim Woo-min still right up there as well, and making a move in lane 2. You were mentioning him actually, Karen, the other Australian, Sam Short, our world champion in Fukuoka last year.
Yeah, that's right. He's been a very successful swimmer, but also good at the distance. So he might not have the speed that some of the swimmers have, but he has that endurance to bring that race home. And he is now trying to get on the shoulder of Kim Woo-min, who is 1 lane up from him.
Yeah, this race is tightening up with just over 2 lengths to go. It is Lucas Martins, the German, that has led all the way so far. And with 2 lengths to go, he turns and he is still in the lead. Kim Woo-min over in lane 1 on the far side of the pool from us is in contention, pretty much on his shoulder. How difficult is that, Karen, actually, when your closest challenger is about 3 lanes away from you?
Yeah, it can be difficult to see them. That's why it's quite interesting to see which way the swimmers breathe. And often if they're the swimmer, if they're breathing to where the action is happening, they can see it. Just gives them that extra rush. We see Lucas Martins, he is now starting to put the pressure on a little bit.
Lucas Martins, so into the final length here, turns in the lead, swam the fastest 400 metres freestyle for 12 years at the German Nationals in April. Here we go, just over 25 metres to go, and in lane 6 I can see Elijah Winnington coming on strong. Over in lane 1, Kim Woo-min of South Korea. It's going to be a tight one, 10 metres or so to go. Lucas Martins has led all the way in this race, now pushing for the wall at the end. He is going to get the gold for Germany. He touches first, Martins gold. Elijah Winnington takes silver for Australia, and Kim Woo-min was in that race all the way through. On the far side of the pool from us, he takes the bronze medal. Karen Pickering.
Well, the pace of that race was extraordinary. There were 4 swimmers under world record pace as we were coming through at halfway. They took that race on and paid for it in the closing stages for sure. But that's what makes the races so exciting. Often it's the tactics. It's having to trying to psych the swimmers out by taking that pace out, by leaving swimmers behind, and he did that so well today, Martins.
Steve Parry, what did you make of it?
Well, that's the fastest top 5 we've ever seen on the 400 freestyle. 3:42 and below is absolutely fast. Look at Martins there. I mean, the ecstasy and the agony of that race. Martins on the blocks, sorry, on the lane rope, celebrating, smashing the water, and then the Brazilian with his head in his hands, crying at missing out on a medal. So he breaks the he makes the America's record, but he doesn't get a medal. He's absolutely distraught, missed out by 0.2 of a second.
Tees us up absolutely beautifully for the women's 400-metre freestyle final, which is next to come as well, which in terms of any sport across this Olympic Games will be one of the highest quality events you could wish to watch at an Olympics. Your gold medalist in the men's 400 metres freestyle, first medal in the pool at Paris 2024, Lucas Martins for Germany. Elijah Winnington of Australia takes silver. Fellow Australian Sam Short just missed out. He finished in fourth. And Kim Woo Min of South Korea takes the bronze medal.
So we have our first swimming gold medal of this Paris Olympics. It's gone to Germany, but it's the Aussie who's making his way over to the fans, because you often, once the medal races come about, you start to realise exactly who's in the crowd and where it's made out, and suddenly all that yellow is making sense now, all that gold for the Aussies, and they're the ones making a lot of noise. They might have quite a bit to celebrate. They already have a silver medal to celebrate, but that was a fast race, and it just, as Ali said there, tees us up so nicely for the women's race, which is coming up very shortly. We've been looking forward to it anyway, and now we've got added reason.
Kelly, I don't know if you remember, but about 13 years ago, they changed the rules in swimming, and you were allowed to wear what we now dub as the super suits. They were like shiny suits, or they were almost like wetsuits, and they held you higher in the water. And we saw that year, I want to say, about 50 world records that were broken. The sport went through a ridiculous period. That record that still exists in the 400 free was from a chap called was it Biedermann's record? Paul Biedermann's record. And no one's got near it since, and those guys are actually now starting to threaten that record, and I thought it'd be an eternity before we saw it being threatened. It was absolute quality. I really am feeling for the Brazilian there. He was in, well, he's distraught. You know, he's crying his eyes out on poolside, and he's realised he's missed out by 0.2 of a second. Just shows he's got to wait another 4 years now, Kelly, before he gets another shot at that.
You pointed out, it's an America's record. He's done everything that he possibly could, and yet the rest of the field was so strong, Karen, that there just wasn't a way through for him.
Yeah, he was coming back fast, you know, he was really coming back into the race, but just needed a few more meters. He just didn't quite pace that right, and yes, it was a personal best for him and a record, but he'll know how fast he was finishing.
And now we're setting up for the women's 400 metres freestyle. We're running slightly behind schedule already, so I'm sort of working to the times that I've got in front of me, but I think what I need to do is just work to the times of what's actually happening in front of me, because they're only just now starting to come out, and we've been looking forward to this one. It's amazing that it's happening on the first evening.
This arena is used to box office events. Taylor Swift was performing back here in May. This is box office.
By the way, hang on. I heard you use my joke earlier on the radio, Alistair Bruce Ball, and mock my Taylor Swift
joke. Is a loose term, though, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
it is
that
a loose
joke
term.
at best.
You're going to have to tell it again now, though, Kelly, because some people might not have been listening last night or this morning.
Taylor Swift performed in this arena in May. This is the last time I'll tell it. Taylor Swift performed in this arena in May, which means that all the swimmers who come here don't need a towel when they come out the pool. They just need to shake it off. I think that's all right.
The whole crowd just went quiet.
There was tumbleweed flown across the water.
Right, let's concentrate on what should be an absolute blockbuster. I can see actually everyone in the commentary positions just sort of shaking themselves off and warming up, because they know something special is on the way here in the Paris La Défense arena. Steve Parry, the swimmers are being called out at the moment. Let's go through the big names. So Katie Ledecky, 7 gold medals at the Olympics, this her 4th Olympics. Erica Fairweather, the New Zealander, will be a contender for gold here. Ariana Titmus, the Australian, the Olympic champion and the world record holder. And Summer McIntosh is just 17 years old from Canada. She has swum the 2nd fastest time ever in this event.
Well, it's so tasty, isn't it? And there's stories everywhere in this. Katie Ledecky, if she wins 2 more gold medals at this Olympic Games, she's level with Carl Lewis as the 2nd best ever Olympic, and she's coming out and she looks like she means business there. You don't want to be taking Katie Ledecky on. And just to mention for Ariarne Titmus, she's the world record holder. She owns 6 of the fastest 10 times in history in this event. And then we've got Summer McIntosh, the 17-year-old, just emerging as a talent, the opposite to Katie Ledecky. She's got the 2nd fastest time of all time. I mean, you want to throw a coin up in the air or play rock, paper, scissors or something, because it's going to be absolutely fascinating.
Well, there are some absolutely brilliant swimmers who are going to swim fantastically well tonight and finish 4th, 5th and not get a medal. Karen Pickering's just shown me her goosebumps on her left arm. Her goosebumps have given me goosebumps.
When Katie Ledecky walked out, her face, she absolutely means business. The 27-year-old, she's been in this position so many times, you can never write her off. And as much as there are challenges for her, and this is not her strongest event at these Olympic Games, she wants this one.
This is absolutely mouth-watering. Eyes drawn to Katie Ledecky in the red, white and blue. And as both Karen and Steve have said, that was all business, that face. No hint of a smile, massive roar when she came out into the arena, acknowledged it, but stony-faced. Katie Ledecky, Olympic legend in lane 4 for the USA. Ariarne Titmus, Olympic champion, world record holder in the green and gold of Australia. The swimmers are called to their blocks. Maria Fernanda Costa of Brazil in lane 1. Jamie Perkins, Australia, lane 2. Erica Fairweather of New Zealand won the gold at the World Championships in Doha earlier this year. We are underway. Ledecky in 4, Titmus in 5, Summer McIntosh in 6, Paige Madden of the USA went well in qualifying in 7, and Isabel Gerser of Germany is in lane 8. Swimmers have completed 25 metres so far, and as we expected, Karen Pickering, there is absolutely nothing between pretty much any of them. Certainly, you know, the likes of Ledecky, Titmus, McIntosh and Fairweather in those middle lanes.
Yes, absolutely right. Though Summer McIntosh slightly the better off the start, but this is going to be, I thought it might be a little bit cagey, but the swimmers are taking this race on. Ariarne Titmus in the middle of the pool in the bright gold hat, and she had bright gold fingernails, yellow gold fingernails to match, but Summer McIntosh is just holding her off at the moment.
Yeah, Summer McIntosh is in lane 6, pretty close to us, the 17-year-old Canadian. So much talent, so much potential, yet to win an Olympic medal, and they turn almost simultaneously. So tight between them. Ariarne Titmus, the Australian, the defending champion, just a 1/10 of a second or so ahead, and keeping an eye on Katie Ledecky in lane 4 as well. Perhaps half a body length, Karen, behind Titmus, who is still out in front.
Yeah, Titmus will be using the speed that she has, the world record holder for the 200 freestyle. She knows she has the edge over Ledecky on that part of the race.